Welcome back! Today we're counting down the top 10 US states with the quirkiest rivalries and travel frustrations with Canada. It's all in good fun. Think family squabbles, not real animosity. We'll look at border crossings, sports, and those little things that make neighbors grumble. Ready to see your state and Canada in a whole new light? Let's dive in! Number 10 is Alaska, Canada's wild neighbor. Alaskans often drive through Canada just to reach the rest of the US. That's a lot of border crossings and travel stories. There's a friendly rivalry. Who's tougher? Who has the bigger moose? Who's more rugged? Tourism is a battleground too. Alaska and Western Canada compete for the same adventure seekers. Every BC tourism ad is a challenge to Anchorage. It's a relationship built on shared wilderness and a constant low-key competition. The rivalry is more about pride than real dislike. Alaska kicks off our countdown with a neighborly nudge. Landing at number 9, we find ourselves in Montana, a state synonymous with vast landscapes and independent spirits. Here, the border with Alberta and Saskatchewan isn't just a political boundary marked on a map, it's a tangible presence, woven into the very fabric of daily life for those who call this region home. It shapes economies, influences cultures, and sparks both cooperation and friendly competition. Montanans frequently cross into Canada for a variety of reasons, from the practical, like shopping for goods, to the recreational, such as hitting the slopes for some world-class skiing in the Canadian Rockies, or simply to visit friends and family. But despite the ease of crossing and the familiarity, they can't help but notice the subtle and sometimes not so subtle differences that set the two countries apart. Take gas prices, for example, or the metric system, which can be a source of amusement and occasional frustration for Americans accustomed to inches and miles. And then there's the milk, sold not in cartons or jugs but in bags. It all contributes to a playful underlying sentiment of, why can't you be normal, like us? A lighthearted jab that speaks to the unique relationship between neighbors. The economies of Montana and its Canadian neighbors are intertwined, with industries like ranching and energy playing a significant role. This fuels a quiet but persistent competition between the regions. Who's raising the better beef? Who's implementing the smarter, more sustainable resource management practices? It's a rivalry that manifests itself on both professional and personal levels, influencing business decisions and shaping community interactions. This friendly competition simmers in local coffee shops, fuels debates in the pages of local newspapers, and provides endless fodder for conversation. The constant back and forth, the easy flow of people and ideas across the border, means there are plenty of stories to be shared, some heartwarming, some cautionary. Montana's connection to Canada runs deep, forged through shared history, economic ties, and personal relationships. But with such close proximity and intertwined interests, friction is inevitable. Ultimately, the relationship is a complex blend of neighborly respect, mutual dependence, and that ever-present daily rivalry, and that's precisely why Montana, with its unique position and perspective, lands at number 9 on our list. Landing at number 8, we find ourselves in North Dakota, a state often overlooked but brimming with its own unique charm and character. Here, the border with Canada isn't some heavily guarded divide, but more like a long shared driveway between two giant farms, seamlessly blending into the vast landscape. It's a testament to the close relationship this state has with its northern neighbor. Cross-border life isn't an exception, it's routine. Whether it's visiting relatives just across the line, indulging in some cross-border shopping, or simply seeking a change of scenery from the familiar plains, the border is a fluid concept here. This proximity fosters constant comparisons, sparking friendly competition between neighbors on either side. The question of who's got the better harvest is always a hot topic, and which side benefits from the saner, more effective farming rules. North Dakotans genuinely appreciate and admire Canada's rich culture, but sometimes they find the excessive politeness a bit much to handle. What are they hiding behind all that niceness, they jokingly wonder. Each winter, Canadian snowbirds make their annual pilgrimage, passing through North Dakota on their way south. While these travelers undoubtedly boost the local economy, they also contribute to crowded highways and bustling diners, adding a touch of chaos to the quiet winter months. Ultimately, the relationship between North Dakota and Canada is defined by shared lifestyles, intertwined economies, and a healthy dose of good-natured grumbling. It's never rooted in malice, but rather the kind of playful ribbing, the familiar banter you'd exchange with a cousin you see at every summer family gathering. Living right on Canada's doorstep means navigating daily friction, but also enjoying a deep sense of familiarity and connection. And that's North Dakota, claiming the number 8 spot on our list. Number 7 is Minnesota, where hockey is life and Canada is the ultimate rival. Every game against a Canadian team is a battle for bragging rights, and the rivalry spills into daily life. Canadians in Maple Leafs jerseys get good-natured heckling in Minneapolis. Minnesotans love fishing and camping in Canada, but come back with stories about licenses, regulations, and legendary mosquitoes. The cultures are so similar it's almost too much, leading to a fight for identity. Minnesota wants its own North cred, not just to be Canada's twin. The rivalry is built on respect, but it's real. Sports, travel annoyances, and cultural overlap make Minnesota's spot on the list a no-brainer. It's a brotherly grudge, through and through. Number 6 is Michigan, where water connects more than it divides. The Detroit-Windsor crossing is one of the busiest in the world, and border waits are legendary. Michiganders grumble about traffic jams and customs lines. Resentment builds in those long waits. The auto industry is a blessing and a battleground. Michigan and Ontario compete for jobs and contracts. Even small things, drinking age, grocery brands, Canadian Tire money, remind Michiganders that their neighbor is just a bit different. The relationship is a daily grind, close, competitive, and sometimes frustrating. It's like working with a coworker you can't avoid. Michigan's rivalry with Canada is constant, and that's why it's number 6. Sometimes you just wish they'd use a different bridge. Number 5 is New York, where the border means two very different things. In NYC, Canada is just another country. Upstate, it's a daily reality. Border crossings like the Peace Bridge are packed with tourists and shoppers, leading to epic wait times and travel headaches. Canadian visitors are vital for Buffalo's economy, but locals sometimes feel like a service station for Toronto. There's a subtle rivalry. Toronto's big city energy can overshadow Buffalo's own culture. It's a fight for attention and respect, not just commerce. The relationship is a mix of economic dependence and travel fatigue. New York's spot is all about the stress of being next to a popular, sometimes overwhelming neighbor. It's a love-hate dynamic, especially upstate. Number 4 is Vermont, sharing a border and a vibe with Quebec. Both are proud, independent, and famous for maple syrup. But Quebec's syrup dominance stings. The maple syrup war is real, David versus Goliath, Vermont style. Vermonters love Montreal, but the language barrier and customs highlight their own identity. There's competition for tourists. Vermont's New England charm versus Quebec's French twist. Every leaf peeper or skier who picks Mont Tremblant over Stowe is a tiny loss. Vermont's rivalry is quiet, polite, and rooted in pride. It's about who's the true king of the North Woods, and who makes the better pancake topping. The quarrel is born of similarity and love for their own corner of the world. That's why Vermont is number 4. Landing at number 3 on our list is the state of Maine. Here, the border with Canada isn't just a line on a map, it's a sprawling, almost ethereal boundary, as blurry in its practical implications as it is geographically long. It stretches for hundreds of miles, a constant presence in the lives of those who call this northeastern corner of the U.S. home. For many, the border is a place where families reunite, where friendships are rekindled, and where communities intertwine. It's a place of connection, a testament to the shared history and culture of the region. But the border is also a source of considerable frustration, a place where the realities of international boundaries clash with the everyday lives of ordinary people. Due to a quirk of geography, Mainers often have to drive through Canada, specifically the province of New Brunswick, just to reach other parts of their own state. This unusual situation creates a unique set of challenges and inconveniences for residents. Imagine having to go through customs twice, every single time you want to visit a neighboring town within your own state. And then there's the Great Lobster debate, a topic that ignites passions and divides opinions. The question of Maine lobster versus Canadian lobster is a serious one, and for locals there's only one correct answer. Maine lobster reigns supreme. The pride in their local seafood is palpable. For many living near the border, crossing it becomes a routine part of their lives, a mundane task rather than an exciting adventure. But the cumulative effect of these border crossings, with all their associated procedures, can really add up over time. The long waits at customs, the strict rules and regulations, and the general sense of inconvenience can wear thin, leading to a collective grumble among the locals. Mainers are known for their fierce independence, a trait that's deeply ingrained in their culture and way of life. And while they share a border with Canada, they often see their Canadian neighbors as fundamentally different, with distinct values and perspectives. This rivalry, though often lighthearted, is a constant undercurrent in daily life, a familiar and stubborn part of the local identity. It's a comfortable grumble, a shared experience, much like complaining about the unpredictable New England weather. It's this complex and often contradictory relationship with Canada, shaped by geography, history, and culture, that defines Maine's unique position and earns it the number 3 spot on our list. Number 2 is Washington, where Seattle and Vancouver are practically siblings and rivals. The border crossings are infamous for hours-long waits, especially on weekends. Travel frustration is the number 1 complaint. A trip to Vancouver can be soured before it starts. Economic rivalry is fierce. Both cities compete for tech talent and investment. When Amazon expands in Vancouver, Seattle takes notice. Even small differences, cost of living, traffic laws, add to the friction. Washingtonians love their neighbor, but impatience runs deep. The rivalry is about more than travel, it's about regional dominance. That's why Washington is our runner-up. And at number 1, the most surprising state, Idaho. Idaho's tiny border with British Columbia hides a big story. The northern panhandle is fiercely independent, with values that often clash with Canadian policies. Travel for hunting or fishing brings culture shock. Different rules, different philosophies. Idahoans feel overlooked, just a pass-through for Canadians heading south. There's a quiet resentment, a sense that their unique culture isn't appreciated. The rivalry isn't about sports or traffic, it's ideological, rooted in identity. Idaho's opposition is stubborn and philosophical, not loud. It's less about Canadians, more about what Canada represents. That's why Idaho tops our list. That's our countdown. From Maine's rugged coast to Idaho's quiet plains, these border rivalries are as complex as they are entertaining. At the end of the day, it's all about connection. Rivalries are just part of being neighbors. Borders may divide, but stories and travel bring us together. If you love exploring these quirks, hit subscribe and join the conversation. Let us know in the comments. Did we get it right? See you on the next adventure.